Like Hollow Knight? Good grief. Next thing you're gonna tell me you just got done playing Kingdom Hearts or something. Hello, Bucko. Okay, at least there's some dignity. Hello, Toaster. Hello, Coach. What, he's so excited? Yeah. Here for gameplay? That's what I expect most people are. I'm not a Hollow Knight fan. I don't really care for the genre. And I think the fandom has also soured my taste for what Hollow Knight is, but I also think it's a fine game, per se. Unlike the other thing I just mentioned. You piss butt. Like, I respect it as a game, at the very... Like, it's the thing. Unlike Kingdom Hearts. Which has none of the above. Yeah, that's what happened. No, but there... Was it during, like... Was it the Switch 2 Direct or something? I don't know. Wasn't there like 2 seconds of like Silk Song footage or something on something and everyone like lost their mind? I probably like the game. I just don't particularly like that type of genre. It's not my alley. Personally. Luna Knights? When have I ever said I like Luna Knight? It had a release window, yeah. Did you need to type Mahjong, or did you mistype Mahjong? Is that something completely different? I am a Mahjong enjoyer. Like I'm a dong enjoyer. I do too. Like, I'll bring it up once every couple months, but like I respect Luna Knights for what it is. I understand popularity. It's not a genre I care for, like, at all, though. USD slot, yeah. A game with mostly USD characters, just such slop. I mean, it's entertaining. Like, the dialogue of the game is solid. I'll give it that much. Like, it's an interesting looking game, and I feel if you like the genre, then it's probably a really good game. So, bish bash bosh. Hey, they're like Notori's in the game as well, right? Like she appears for like a tiny bit. There's slot for everything. Come on, I mean I commented this before, right? You got the term sloth doesn't have meaning, so that's why Game Glitcher uses it. It just simply is to mean something I don't like. That might be used often. Okay, I understand the context of the game, but like if you put a game, if you say fucking what is the game called? Violet Detector. And you're like, oh, look at all these characters in the game. And you're like, they're not actually in the game. It's like, they're in the game for all anyone's concerned, okay? Oh, no, plot twist. It's not, like, technically like that. But, like, who gives a shit, okay? As far as anyone's concerned, she's in that game, okay? But what do you mean that's a bit different? Like you as Sakuya and Luna Knights literally talk to Notori. Should be flooded. No, but it's still having the character be there. It's like the fucking character's there, okay? It doesn't matter. Imagine if a character's on like appears in a game and then it turns out to be like an illusion. It never existed. The character's still there in terms of content for all anyone cares. Hey, Game Glitcher's got me in a good mood already. Oh, you don't appreciate FPS HM? Yeah. Enjoy the stream, dude. I love it. Nothing to get the energy going. Need energy going if I want to play the game well. It's like, man, I really wish Kaneko and Suwako got representation in Lost Branch. Like, there's so many other characters get representation in Lost Branch. I wish those two did, right? You know. Oh, but the Tanuki's like impersonating them and taking their form doesn't actually count. Like, you get representation though. That's what matters. Like, I'm not gonna say like the game isn't 99% USD content, but like, or the cast, but like. At least Notori appears for a little bit and, like, talks, and, like, you play through most of the game believing that it's Notori. Wary of it, I haven't played Puff Dance. Wait, you want me to wipe? I don't know if you need to wear me out for that. We'll see. I doubt we'll wipe today. We might suffer some casualties, but... You know what they say, born to shit, forced to wipe. No, I'd say it does count. Because 99.9% of all character-related things in Lost Branch isn't the character's personality, it's simply just the fact that the character exists. So it doesn't really matter that, like, the Tanukis impersonating them don't carry their personality when no one has a personality in Lost Branch. Even the playable characters have, like, 5 lines of dialogue, maybe. Okay, no one's going through Lost Branch and being like, dude, that fucking, man, that writing was so good. Like, 90% of all the writing is just comedy. That's why when I said Lost Branch, it's about representation rather than character. Branch will eventually have writing. What do you mean? You just don't. Yeah, well, don't worry. We'll get that writing in 10 years from now, right? Is this writing they're gonna have in the room with us? Hello, 11. Tell Game Glitcher he's losing his mind. Story update? Yeah. How long has it been like that? And like, what story up content are they gonna like provide? Yeah, but like, if I were to expect any story content, I'm expecting like 5 sentences maybe. In that, like, not gonna lie, in a game like Lost Branch, I'm expecting a few sentences maybe. Which is unused. Yeah, so I mean, if they come out and they add a billion bits of dialogue for like every single fucking character except the Tanukis, then I'll buy your argument. I mean, who acts like anybody in that game right now? Does anyone? Like, I'm pretty sure from like I played a lot of Lost Branch, and to my point, it's kind of like the Touhou aspect of it is 95% just flavor. Personality, Aki. You're right. Aki's fucking 3 sentences. Shit, that really fucking pushes her over the top, dude. Hooey. The point of the whole thing... Yeah, well, the point of the whole thing was just, like, I would argue that there's Kaneko and Suwaka representation. That was what I said from the beginning. It's like I'd still count it as representation with the character in the game. That was the point. When I was comparing it to the Tori from Luna Knights. It's like, I don't care if it's technically the fake or the real. You're there, you see the thing, and the game, like, pseudo wants you to believe it's them. I know they put the question mark, so it's like, if you look at it, it's like, okay, you know, clearly it's impersonating this character that you know well. Here's your representation for them. Tanukis copy the power of the people they, like, take the form of anyway. Presentational? I think it depends on what it is. Or what the thing is, right? Like, I think in Luna Nights, you know, you kind of want the personality of some sort. What, you know, and a lot of the time, this is fan-represented personality, which is something you have to put like an asterisk next to, where it's like, okay, you know, it's someone else's interpretation of something. Sometimes it's going to line up a lot with yours, sometimes it might not, but I think that also depends on what it is, though, right? Like I said, in Luna Nights, if it was just a nod, like, oh, this character exists, like a mention or like a brief, like just a brief appearance without dialogue, I'd be like, oh, you know, it's representation, nothing more than that. But the fact that, of course, she, like, actually talks and you engage with her under the assumption that she's Natori, then yes. Well, in Lost Branch's sake, I would disagree a little bit. Because there's, like, no personality in, like, much of anything. Like, there's a little bit of flavor here or there. And in the case of the Suwako and Kaneko, most of the character's personality in Branch comes down to just, you know, basing some of their kit around, you know, that character's powers and or like things like that. And like with Suwako and Kaneko, that's not the furthest from the truth there either. It's like, how do we represent this character as a fight? Argue Suwako frogifying your cards is pretty good enough in terms of that. It doesn't attack. Yeah, I mean, she would just show up and beat someone's ass anyway, though. To be fair, that's pretty not realistic of her. She'd show up and have a whole conversation about how she's gonna kick your ass and then kick your ass. If you're just good copy of Mamizo. I mean, Mamizo seems special for Tanuki standards, but you also really don't see much Tanuki shenanigans in Touhou outside of her. Like, you kind of get some Tanuki stuff, like, at least talked about in, what is it, Hopeless Masquerade? The extra Suwako? You kill her. Like you do with most other puppets. You drain their HP to 0. Glad to be of help. All spread? Whoa. Calling out people for their spread. Whoa. What she does in bed is completely meaningless to you, I'm just saying. Yeah, they've been bored somehow. Hey, I don't think Kaneko is Sanai's mom. You know, one could sit down and be like, yeah, I picture her as Sanai's mother figure, per se. She's not, you're right. That's how we should be looking at it. Can we prove that Kaneko's not packing a foot with a cock under there? Probably not canonically. Therefore, it must be true. like the hat. I have seen, you know, now you mention it, I don't think about that theory that often, but you mentioned that, and I am remembering of that one. Is this the same type of theory, though, as Kasume in the bucket? How Kasume is not actually the girl in the bucket, but it's like some demon holding up the girl's corpse or something? Like puppeting that, per se? Have you not? It's literally like the reason people I've heard people say that is because of like Kasume's legend. Is like the whole thing that she's based after. Like I feel like I've heard that one multiple times. Definitely more than the Suwako is the hat and not the girl. Although I think one thing with the Kasume one was, like, I've seen that before, but I have not seen that since that newer book with, like, all the different, like, characters, like, all, like, the little bits of information stuff on the characters came out. Didn't Kasume have legs in that one? Or maybe it was a previous book or something. You never see Talking Up, which we do, yeah. Listen, we never take it off. What's my source? Someone on a 20-minute YouTube video told me, and if I'm gonna act blindly as if they know everything they're talking about. They sounded smart, okay? What's your source? I heard it from Pirate Software, dude. It's gotta be true. Gotta be true. He sounds so smart. He couldn't possibly be lying to me for the sake of anything else. What's the Arthur quote? Someone would do that? Go on the internet and tell lies? I don't believe it. Picks up her head. Since she'll die shortly after, yeah. How many Touhou characters do not, like, have any head accessories? I can think of Kagi off the top of my head, right? She doesn't really... I don't think she has any head accessories. Does Yuka not really have any? Now that I think about it. Suwako has heavy fog? I don't know. Lineup? Like, be able to set things up? Suwako represents the darkness. What's my source for that? I made it up. I hope this extra Mayumi beats these power Ayas. He has accessories. There's a lot of characters that have accessories. That's why I was talking and thinking, who doesn't? Kagi, like I said, Kagi is the first one that came to mind. I'm sure there's more. But... does Sake have anything in her hair? I can't think of so. I know I've seen like fan works and stuff give her like knife hairpins, like a hairpin that's like looks like a knife. But I don't know if canonically she has anything in her hair, off the top of my head at least. That is another thing I have to try to think about, because so much of like what I see in like characters is like fan works and fan art of them, that it's hard to remember exactly what's like canon appearances. Kagi has no head. So, no head. Headpiece. Does she have that? I believe it. I believe Buggo, so. He seems trustworthy. You'd never lie to me. Do ears count? Oh, I for a second I thought like ears. If you're talking like cat ears and dog ears, yeah, I'd count that. With like the cat girls and stuff. Yeah, I do love this gift. It is a beautiful one. I'd count the characters with like animal ears and stuff as the ears basically being a head accessory. Because the character is more than just hair on top of their head. Raikou? Who? Raikou the Pokemon? Dogme has no headpiece. Dogme has no head game. Unbelievable. Who the fuck calls Raikou Red Yuka? This is Junko again. True. Dude, I mean, Raikou is really kind of just like Yuka if you think about it. Like if instead of like her love for flowers, she like was a drum, and that like turned into like sort of a living being. Instead of an umbrella, she like sat on a drum, like a giant drum. And she, instead of carrying her parasol with her, she, like, carried drumsticks. And, like, instead of, like, being very nature-oriented, having, like, Master Spark, she shot, like, electricity. Hold on, I think these correlations are a lot. And, like, green and red are, like, colors in the rainbow? Hold up, they might actually be onto something. Maybe Fuse Instrument Girl. Well, there's 3 of them, so it's not a tall order. Very brave of you, though, King Richard. I mean, I believe the only reason why people like Benben and Yatsuhashi is because of Akatsuki records. At least most people. 5. Who are your others that you're including? Who are the other instruments we're talking about? Obviously, Ben, Yatsuhashi, and Raiko were the other two instruments. Prism River Girls, okay. That makes 6, not 5. Ooh, too much. Whatever. Okay, congrats. You picked the cutest of a set of 6 characters. Very brave of you. You want a medal? Also, I like Raiko. I'm not gonna say she's the cutest of them, though. Like, cutest is a... That's... What are you talking about, my guy? Like, I probably like Raiko more than the others. But, like, cutest? Nah, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Who's the cutest? What, of the 6? Luna's the cutest fairy. No, it's Eternity. I mean, it's one of the Prism Rivers. The Prism Rivers, I don't know who I'd say is the cutest Prism River, but I'd argue that as a whole, the Prism Rivers are cuter than the DDC characters. That's not me saying I necessarily love them more. That's just in terms of pure cuteness. Okay? I should actually, like, try to play well. Instead of just kind of, like, half booting. Okay, but Lily, though. Lily White, true. There are a number of fairies. It's hard to, like, compare them all at the same time. My answer is Diose. Diose is number 1, Shirano's number 2. All the other fairies are just kind of like impersonators of those two. They're all just inferior. They came later. They're not from USD. That is cute, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. Okay, better question. People like to ask who's the smartest fairy. Who's the dumbest fairy? They're all stupid. Cop-out answer, cop-out answer. Not sure if the Earth move could take her out. And you said that your Tenchi was the worst member on your team, huh? Oh, from a special kid from another. Ask their parents. Fine, you don't seem up to entertain the question. 11, who do you think is the dumbest of the fairies? Guy doesn't want to have fun entertaining the questions. I have to ask someone else who is more willing to enjoy conversation. Possibly Lily. That's fair. Did I fight Yumemi yet? No. I don't know if I'll even fight her today. She's probably going to be one of the later fights in this split. Realistically speaking. I haven't started any of the fights in the split. That was going to be today. Thursday was just encounters. Slow is he going? Well, sorry, I only play twice a week. Tonight a week ago? Yeah, I did beat Tonight a week ago. You know how many times I've played since a week ago? Once. Yeah, well, I mean, isn't that not like that dissimilar to the move to the item metronome in Pokemon? Not to be confused with the move metronome. But there's the move metronome that, like, every time you use it consecutively in a row, it gets a small damage boost and it stacks. Kind of niche, but you can use it to, like, set up on certain fights to just sneak your way through. Up dance, unbelievable. I mean, a lot of my knowledge, I have engaged with many different factors of Pokemon over the years. And I can say thoroughly that of all of them, Smogon is the worst fucking thing in Pokemon. I like competitive Pokemon. I'm a competitive Pokemon enjoyer, but like of the official format, the double battles. 6v6 single battles. There are some formats where I'm like, okay, this isn't that bad, and there's some formats where I'm like, oh, it's perfect Hanako practice. But for the most part, like, people love to fantasize Gen 3 OU. I think it's like one of the I think it might be either the most or like the second most played format on Showdown. Fuck, that format is miserable to play. Well, it was a single puppet, yeah. Yeah, I'll go through and not lose a single puppet. Totally gonna be how it goes. We'll ignore the 3 casualties from last Sunday. If the game being this easy, yeah. Use certainly metagame. That one too, but like, I don't necessarily blame like Smogon and get on them for that, because like Gen 1 is just fucking bizarre in many different ways. Gen 1 is weird, and like I give it a pass because of like just how weird it is. Gen 2, fucking dog shit, dude. Holy shit, that is probably the worst competitive format of all time. And Gen 3, for being so popular, is... There are aspects I like, but I'm not a Smogon enjoyer at all. I much prefer the VGC battle competitive. Personally. So you're after the over, yeah, until you miss, what is it, 70% accurate move? Or at least popular. I mean, I kind of assume that's what you meant. I've enjoyed VGC over the years, in and out. I think Scarlet and Violet has been by far my favorite in terms of VGC. I think partly, like, the terrestrialization really helps with that, personally. I think the terrestrialization is such a cool competitive mechanic. In a way that, like, Megas and Crystals and Dynamaxing didn't quite hit. Not that they were bad mechanics. I don't like Sea Crystals. Dynamaxing is fine in IMO, and Megas were cool, but they're kind of, like, pretty straightforward. If Tough type is whack, it's the Stellar type is whack. Yeah, it's pretty niche, but, like, it still is used competitively. Right? I mean, there's been some major tournaments with very high placing Parastellar, Urshifu, Fluttermane. I've seen like high placing Chen-Paos with Parastellar. Like, it's not the most common type, but it kind of went from not being used to being used at least a little bit. And of course Terapagos, but like Terapagos is kind of its own thing. Kind of weird. It's kind of like what Dragon was like supposed to be, right? And what kind of what Dragon still is to a degree, but Fairy exists. I know they're bringing back Mega Evolutions back, obviously. There's been so much online discourse over the newest Mega Evolutions revealed. I hope they keep terrestrialization in some, like, at least in Pokemon Champions, which is, you know, where they're intend to move the competitive battling scape to. I hope they keep that. I think terrestrialization is a really cool mechanic for competitive sake. To go over to be Salamence. Yeah. What are you talking about? You don't like weather? In the way that it is? In Gen 5? When weather was infinite. To be fair, weather was infinite prior to that as well. At least weather when done by abilities. It's just in Gen 5 is when they added hidden abilities. So a lot of so that's where more Pokemon besides Tyranitar, Kyogre, and Groudon, and I think Hippowdon? I think Hippowdon might have gotten Sandstream before the hidden ability. But those are the only Pokemon, I believe, with weather abilities before hidden abilities came in. So although they existed, the problem was it was either sand or, like, legendaries, right? Where it has a Sandstream. Okay, yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure it got Sandforce at some point. But, like, I couldn't remember, like... I was pretty sure Sandstream earlier, but I was also, like, it very well could have been, like, he had Sandforce and got Sandstream. Hippowdon's not a Pokemon you see or experience, like, ever. Bomb Stuff, sorry, true, a Bomb Snow as well, but... Hail/Snow until, like, Gen 7 was pretty dog shit. Right? Like, in Gen 7, Aurora Veil was added to make it, like, decent, and then they changed Hail to Snow, and they gave it, like, the Ice-type physical defense boost. And it did win a major tournament. There was that Articuno team that won a major tournament, Snow team. So, I'm not going to say it's a good strat, but it is a strat that has definitely worked better nowadays than it ever has. But yeah, that was the thing. It's like the two best weathers on average in terms of like their kind of high-end potential being sun and rain. Drought and Drizzle didn't exist outside of Kyogre and Groudon until Gen 5. Yeah, Sandstorm. Well, part of the reason why Sand is so fine, too, is because, first of all, it's on Tyranitar. And Tyranitar, unlike Abomasnow, is a really good Pokemon. Like, outside of just having Sandstream. So that's what made him good originally. And then the Rock types got the 50% special defense boost starting in Gen 4 during Sandstorm. So that also helped. Like, and then, like, Excadrill existed, right? Double speed during Sand. Like, there's synergy with the Sand, which kind of start pushing that over and above. But that only really start... Like, the Sand synergies only really start to go off in Gen 5. But that's also when Rain and Sun start to get all their shit. Because, like, Chlorophyll and Swift Swim users always existed, but, like, Drizzle and Drought users didn't really exist that well until Gen 5. Those monster capturing game. I mean, I'll always say, I think competitive Pokemon, especially right now, is pretty damn well balanced and interesting in competitive sense. However, I think it's purely on accident. I think there are some things that they, like, obviously tried with some intention, but, like, I think the fact that it works as well as it does competitively is kind of a complete coincidence. I'm not even going to say, like, it works perfectly competitively. That's absolutely not true. Generally discussing. Yeah, well, that's kind of just who gets Swift Swim versus who gets Chlorophyll, right? I need a haircut. I gotta get one this week. I thought the damage modifier in terrains was made in Gen 9. I might be mistaken, but I thought that was one of the big nerfs they gave kind of with Rillaboom. Is dropping the terrain damage multiplier from 50 to 30. It might have been going to Gen 8. I don't actually remember for show. Yeah. I mean, Tapu Koko was really good. Bulu had like 1 or 2 tournaments where he's played. And Lele and Beanie were also pretty damn good. I mean, Rilla's still good. Let's not pretend he's not good, but they did definitely very much hit. That good should make trains infinite? Nah. Nah. No one wants to see an infinite Trick Room, okay? Sure they do. Yeah, until you... people will want it until they have it, and then only like 10% of people playing the game would want it. Like, I think Trick Room / Genbu is a really good mechanic and a good thing to have, and I think it's difficult enough to get going as is. It doesn't need to be made harder or easier to get set up in either of the respective games. Trick Room ability. The swap in setup Trick Room. That would be interesting. Although that one is also kind of interesting because, like, unlike the terrains, if like a terrain is up and you switch in the terrain, it doesn't extend the terrain. Same with the weather. But with Trick Room, it actually inverses the Trick Room. Now that would be fascinating. That'd be so stupid. Turn up, yeah. Yeah, if you Trick Room in Trick Room, the second one will turn off the first one. Which is unlike all, like, the weather and terrain effects, because normally you can't do it in, like, Tailwind and stuff. You can't Tailwind in the middle of Tailwind, you can't Sunny Day in the middle of Sun. It just won't do anything. Trick Room's the only one that lets you do it, and it's the only way to, like, stop Trick Room. And Puppets, you can just turn on a different terrain effect, but... Get freak do stuff with gravity. I don't know how much you... Like, gravity is an interesting move. I'll grant it that. It'd be cool to see that. However, the problem is if you get stuff with gravity, then you just get gravity hypnosis. That just becomes the thing. Do we want to see more gravity hypnosis? Do we need more Smeargle shenanigans, okay? We already had Dark Void. We still have Spore Smeargle. Do we need more? Gravity was used in 2016, wasn't it? Alongside some, like, not all of them used it, but some teams, I'm pretty sure, used Gravity alongside Primal Groudon. Because it would make levitating Pokemon be able to be hit by Precipice Blades, and it would also make Precipice Blades 100% accurate. I'm pretty sure it was pretty niche, but I think some teams actually used it. I feel like I remember seeing it. Tina, I'm back. Hey, if whoever's doing Encore somehow made double battles a thing, I would do doubles online. Puppet dance, that sounds fun. I know, I said that based mostly expecting it will never be a thing of Puppet. Insanely busted? In what way? Like, obviously, if you make the distance doubles, you'd also probably include a few of the doubles-related moves at the bare minimum. Like, add, like, a couple Follow Me users or something. Some spread moves. It's a 3-day weekend, boys. Although I actually probably will still go into work for at least a few hours tomorrow. But not full day. Yippee! Suggested doubles. Yeah, I wonder what they like. They need to specify what they mean by that. People can just people just say things, and I am fully vulnerable to this too. Like, I'm pretty sure this type of complaint exists in Pokemon on the outside. But, you know, sometimes there come situations where there's a lot of one-shotting, and sometimes there's a lot of slow, strategic switch-based, setup-based gameplay. It kind of varies on matchups, situation. Can you, like, go fuck yourself? Yeah, well, Puppet Dance also doesn't seem like it was balanced around that. Puppet Dance does have a lot of, extremes when it comes down to some numbers, I would argue, but even at that, Pokemon does the same thing. Like, I mean, there's already a number of raid users. You have warning shot / deploy smoke. Like, you have... It, like, there is, what is it, supernatural barrier or whatever. No, whatever's the one that is protect, essentially. Like, there are these defensive options that in single player kind of become a little meh. That's also fair gypsum. I don't know, as I've said before, I don't really enjoy Pokemon singles that much. And I don't think Puppet would change that for me at all. I think it would house a lot of the same issues that I personally find. And that's not saying it's necessarily bad. There's a lot of people that like singles, and that's perfectly fine. But... Piss butt. Equivalent to the Maribel styles? Not really. There is sort of some play around with the Renko, I guess, to an extent, with the Renkos, at least with, like, the really defensive one, but basically being Shuckle, but... I'd say there's no, at the very least, like, ignoring extra Maribel, there's no power Maribel, like, equivalent. There's just nothing with that specific of an ability. Like, there are weather-based abilities, but nothing on, like, quite on as bad stat of a Pokemon with such a strong ability. Like, there's double your speed during X weather, of course. And there is, under specific weather conditions, oh, you heal a little bit HP a turn, you cleanse your ailments or something, but there's nothing quite to that degree. Hello. Also, in double battles, despite defensive options being more prevalent and more important, stall is worse. is another thing that's also good about doubles. Defensive play increases, in my opinion, while stall decreases. I'm looking at you, starved-less users. Not that salt can't exist, but it does in a lot less in doubles than singles. My biggest issue, though, with hating on Smogon is there are some complaints I have with the whole thing, but I have to be very, very careful with what I say, because there's another very well-known Smogon hater, and that's Verlisify, and the last thing I ever want to do is sound at all like him. Oh. Just getting my crops bumpered all day right now. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I hate Smogon too much, but I'm not a fan of it. That's for sure. Although I think it's more around the community, the culture around it, rather than it itself, but... there are some questions I have about it. Although I think some of my complaints are just simply the fact that it is singles, and some things about it are... I think it's singles is innately a less balanced format. So self-regulation is more important. We have deemed that Garchomp is going to be banned. However, we are not banning it because it is, like, the strongest Pokemon in the format by, like, a decent chunk. We're banning it because of its ability provides a 20% evasion boost, and we can't have that. During Sandstorm, specifically. Gosh, stop with this bumper! Charizard's cooler than Blastoise. I mean, Blastoise is just simply the lamest of the Gen 1 starters. I'm a Blastoise liker to a fair bit, but, like... Not a chance I'm putting Blastoise above either Venusaur or Charizard. No. No, Squirtle's cute. I really like Squirtle. But, like, you're talking Blastoise versus Charizard, not a chance of putting Blastoise above either of the other two. Oops. Water starters are giga overrated. IMO. SMH, my head. TBH. I'll tolerate Empoleon. Empoleon I'll tolerate. Empoleon's pretty damn solid. Well, not as cool. He's definitely not as cool as Torterra. I will say this about the water starters. Their basic forms are generally really cool. I generally really like their basic forms. Their evolved forms, generally prefer the others. You kiss Maribel. Consensually, yeah. Actually, wait, but I shouldn't have answered that. I should probably ask. How old are Renko and Yukari? How old are Renko and Maribel canonically? Is there actually an age on them? I should probably ask that before I answered. When they're in university, okay. I'm gonna assume that it's perfectly fine. I know they have a number of lore about them, so I would not have been surprised if they actually have ages. I've never read their books or anything specifically. Or I guess the CD books. Careful now. Careful. I just thought of a question. It's a really bad question. The only one that said he said she isn't. It also depends on where you live, though, right? I know that's a concept. I'm not defending it necessarily. I'm just saying that also does kind of depend on that, right? Like, where I live, age of consent is 16. I will say that. I'm not necessarily defending that or supporting it. I'm just saying that's how it is. But, like, I could literally drive 3 hours, and guess what? I'm in a place where it's 18. And you could drive another few hours, and guess what? You're in a place where the age is 17. Daylight's my favorite, yep. Anyway, here's the bad question I was about to ask. It's actually related to the age of consent, too. Because you mentioned kissing. Obviously, age of consent is what it is. Does the age of consent apply to kissing? How does kissing work in this regard? Like, is there any age laws with that? What's like about? I'm asking out of curiosity because I've never thought about that before. Maybe I've thought about it once, but never like actually, but like only very briefly. But you talked about kissing Maribel, and then like I said sure, and I was like, wait, how old is she canonically? Where's my shoot button? I'm pressing the wrong keys. I took my hand on the keyboard, realized there was enemies, went down to press shift and focus, realized my fingers are on caps lock and A. I'm a genius. And then I thought, after I asked the age question, I was like, well, does it matter if I'm kissing? If it's just a kiss, would that matter? And then I was like, wait, does that matter? So that's where the question came from. I'm not saying I'm arresting anyone. I'm not saying anything. I'm simply asking a question of like on the lips, making out with someone potentially. Is there anything like regarding this on the books? It was just a thought. I mean, I guess if it's unconsensual, like, you could probably claim assault or something with that, but, like... But then again, there's the question of consent. But how did that work? I don't know, I should probably not delve too much further. Who's watching? No, they're not. No, they're not, buddy. Alfonso. Okay, what? I am simply talking about kissing. I did not apply incest a single time there, buddy. You're the one who brought that up in the first place. Not me. I need to lock in this run. I gotta make sure I win. This would be the greatest LNN if I can get this in the video. There's no way I get an LNN right now. Response. Oh yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if there is really like good response. That's why I kind of that's why I was thought about not even mentioning it in the first place. But I was like, it's also kind of funny, so I'll mention it. If you don't know. You can say some off-the-wall shit. We're fine with that type of content here, off the wall. As long as it's not, like, too over-the-top and explicit and questionable. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, Game Glitcher's gonna cat react to you? Oh no. Like, as long as you don't say anything that I have to ban you for. Because, like... Twitch is as Twitch is. should I insert the joke of, officer, officer, she's thousands of years old. Anyway, we're fighting Notori right now. This is a fight against Kappa, where she is kind of water-oriented in some of her attacks, like this one. Got through that waterfall. On 3, this is just kind of a zigzag pattern. Careful, though, with the balls. You don't want to accidentally run into them. Drawings with the thing I don't have, lolly porn mags. Is that Kappa wet or dry? Well, is water wet? That's a question we have to ask. Does her camouflage suit repel water? Before consent on both sides. Well, that's the question. That's mostly the question I was asking. It was like, where's like the consent with that regards, right? Because like obviously age of consent is as it is for sex, but like outside of that, what does that apply for, right? I mean, I guess that could apply for that because like you can't like. If you're a minor, you can't, like, sign anything and have it be valid, right? Like, your signature isn't... Right? Like, you have to be 18 or older to agree to something. But what does that mean for kissing? Apple machines are waterproof? No, I don't know. I was asking you. You guys are the lore experts here. Like, I know a bit, but I'm not very knowledgeable, especially Kappa regards, right? Any Momiji enjoyers? Did not want to have to do that. I think I would have been fine there. Did not want to have to test that, though. Both parties are under 18. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it depends on, like, how young you're talking, right? But, like, generally speaking, like, Romeo and Juliet laws are a thing. And that is relatively a thing here still with, like... if you're in a high school... And there's like two 16-year-olds making out, regardless of like what state you're in. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, we need to get the cops on this. For like that, right? I mean, it's great and all, I'm getting this pace a lot more as of late, but it is stressful to have this. He's talking about, what do you mean? What am I talking about? I'm responding to 11's statement. He said, in my country, and I was referring to what my country's standards are with this regard. Did I say anything? Oh. I know, we gotta get this LNN real quick. Pull it down, now spread it as far and wide as you can. Spread. Keep trying to make it as weird as possible, you fucking dick and ball sucking Ayashimimaru. Thank you. Fuck you, you piece of shit! She went up, but like I just couldn't quite fucking get around that. Okay, relatively tame PWG at least. Whatever, we take these. What did you just say? Some guy canned twice and actually gave me 6 Dora. Is this a currency we're talking about? Hey, we might not wipe today. We might lose some puppets, but like, maybe we'll wipe next time. Dude. Listen, we just have to preserve till we get to the Garden of the Sun. We get the Yuka encounter, and then she hard carries us, though. Yeah, it's essentially just bosses. Maybe a few normal trainers, in all honesty, but mostly just boss fights. But, like, that doesn't mean I'm getting through all of them today, right? And, like, that doesn't mean I wipe. Like, I might lose a handful of puppets. Maybe I'll win all the battles, but just lose a bunch, and we'll, like, bleed to death slowly over time. You going to hell? Well, I don't consider myself that bad of a person. So... I'd like to... I believe not, but, like... You know, I try to be a good person, so I don't. I mean, I have access to the road to the underground. I don't know if I'll be getting there entirely today. I've got my encounters down there. There are 2 bosses, the Mima and the question mark fight, but they're like the scariest fights down there, like in this split, or at least the highest level one. So I'm kind of just like the Mima's the last fight in the split, and that question mark fight down there is pretty high level. I'm kind of ignoring it. They'll probably like the last fight in the split. So we'll probably be seeing it in a hot second. That's not the gap. I still did it at least. Okay, well, there's also... Oops, I'm on the wrong side. Well, that's also, you gotta compare the, you know, it's just the road to the underground. We also talking about the path to Chiriden, which is after Former Hell. And then the, Did you not do that to me? And then there's also, like, the Blazing Hell as well that you have to go through, right? Then you come out at Medicine Yukari's area. But you maybe first or chicken? I'll fight her when I fight her. How about that? And she won't be first. I'm probably gonna try to fight in a sort of way, easiest to hardest. At least just on surface level, easiest to hardest. I don't know actually which ones are going to be the easiest and hardest, but like I'm mostly going to be going level wise, fighting the lowest level ones first and the highest ones last. Theoretically, I could do it in the opposite order, make the higher level fights harder, but the lower level fights easier, but that seems unwise. I would not be... Like, I could get through the day pretty scot-free. I might get through the day with being bloodbath. Just hard to say for sure. I am expecting problems. But maybe it'll be fine. Cope. You want to see Dex run already? Nice perfect stage 5, by the way. We have a perfect stage 6 every time. If I get this as a perfect stage 6, it becomes a YouTube video, so we get the wonderful conversations. This race sucks. This race sucks so much, bro. Come on, Kaneko. Not the biggest fan of that divining. Oh, that was not the prettiest. Acts a lot more different when your heart rate's a lot higher. No, I know I had the line. No. I panicked, tapped left at the last second. Add that to the list of 3 misses. Come on, that was a normal micro too. Like, there are so many of the hard micros there, and I did all the hard ones. That was just a simple one too. I misjudged my line. Score PB. I probably shouldn't do another. It's only been an hour and a half. I probably should move on after that. I'll give it a little bit. I'll give a few minutes to try to get another thing going, but I might call it shortly. That was a really good Kaneko all around, though. I can't be too upset. I mean, I can be a little upset, but very good run. There wasn't really any bad deaths. Like Surut across. I had done 3. Never mind. I mean, it's all good signs going forward. Like I'm actually like, what I got a 3 miss. Like, what was it, 2 days ago? Another one now. Very good. But I have a hair. Just a hair bit. Saddened. Yeah, okay, bumper. It's early, but I should probably... It's not that early, and I should probably